Hello, and welcome to this full moon healing in May 2023. And it's a Friday, it's May the 5th. It is a full moon with an eclipse, and Mercury's in the microwave, and all the things are happening right now. It has been incredibly heavy for a lot of people that I know, very intense. And so I'm not trying to make light of what the people are going through, but sometimes you just need a little bit of a laugh. So today I've already been thinking about it, and I want to focus more on like how to get through this time and cope, just something to help you and myself. I just finished one session, so I feel a little bit lighter already, and I'm hoping that by the end of this you feel lighter as well. And I know you may be one of the ones watching this that has just suffered a tragedy or some other unexpected heartbreak, and for that I'm truly sorry for your loss. There have been many things right now that are breaking apart, and I mean that in all the different ways. Things physically breaking, things breaking down, relationships, connections, careers, just questions, all sorts of questions. And it's been really intense. I have seen a couple people talk about and speak on like how to maximize this energy, and it just feels really, it feels like too much. I don't want to say fake, but it just feels too much. Like what's happening right now is intense for a lot of people. If you're coming across this, and it's probably been really intense for you in whatever way that is manifesting for you, and instead of being like, how can we maximize this energy and like putting more on your plate, because that's what it feels like to me, is you're giving me more work to do. I would like to try to take something off of your plate. I would like to have you be in this session for however long it lasts and really feel lighter, even if it's just a little bit, even if I'm just able to take something off of your plate and make it easier for you. That's what I want to do. I brought my runes. I told you last month that I've started delving into my ancestral shamanic path, and that is Norse runes and mythology. Still very green, so don't come at me if you know more than me. Still very green. I'm gonna use runes that I got here at the shop where I am. And then I also got a book, which is helping me learn. I actually got the audiobook, but it was just too descriptive. Like I needed to see the symbols. So let's draw, instead of 3 cards, we'll draw 3 runes and we'll see what happens. And you guys are going to laugh. That is the same rune that I pulled last month, but on the actual stone instead of the card. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this that well, hopefully, but it is the same rune that we pulled last month. These are much, much smaller, so it's much harder for me to kind of show you. Some of these have reverse meanings, some of them don't. I'm still learning. Stick with me here. I just hope that I can make sense of it, but it feels like we're already kind of in the same. We're continuing to build on that which we started last month, and this is not like that's one of our runes. This is not like a book that goes with these runes. This is just a book that talks about these runes. And hold on, I think I just found the second one. I'm having to like dog ear them because I don't know their names yet. Now, you will remember, if you were with me last month, you will remember that I was using cards and I wasn't using the actual runes. And I still pulled this one. And now you can actually see how it's pronounced, or how it's spelled. In the English sense, does not make sense. However, it usually has the pronunciation. Okay, well, I guess it's good to know that I'm pretty sure it's still now this. It represents a period of introspection and reflection. It represents our needs and leads us on a journey of self-discovery when we answer the following need questions. So here are 3 questions. What do I require for emotional stability and fulfillment? Is my life's balance in order? Am I receiving adequate work, play, and rest? So those are the 3 questions. When we assess our needs, we successfully analyze our existing position, which aids us in planning for the future. We learn to supplement what we currently lack. After all, if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't help people who rely on us. Patience and self-care are essential to getting through this phase. Patience and self-care are essential to getting through this phase. So, that in and of itself helps with this particular phase of the moon and life, patience, and self-care. So, we're going to move on to the next one, and hopefully this has a pronunciation. Some of them do. Like that literally says, okay, sorry. This is the next one that I pulled. And again, I will show you on the rune itself, but I feel like it's probably too small. And I'm still learning, still very green. Please don't come at me. This rune is pronounced Pearthrow. Pearthrow. And it's known as the Gambler's rune. How funny. It represents dice or fortune, secret, mystery, hidden. Okay. I'm going to skip through there's just adjectives. For me, that's never very helpful. This rune symbolizes the saying, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. I wish I could say I planned this, but I didn't. So, what did we say we were going to do the first time? We were going to use patience and self-care. And then if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. This rune indicates that not all of the necessary information has been provided to us. It could also be taken as a person keeping a secret from you. This unknown knowledge could be either positive or detrimental. So if you choose this rune, it is a warning to be mindful and open to receiving all information that the universe wishes to convey to you. I feel like that is pretty relevant whenever it comes to just not knowing why this is happening. We just don't have all the information, and we may not ever until we pass on from this life and go back to the other side and see it from that perspective. We may not know. We may know later in retrospect. We just may not know. This rune symbolizes that it is time to reconnect with our higher selves by meditation, spending more time outside in nature, or following our spiritual path. Let's go back to patience and self-care are essential to getting through this phase. And then what we need to do is spend more time outside in nature or following our spiritual path. So this is part of my spiritual path. If you've been with me for a long time, then this is where I am. I'm learning about my past, my ancestry. If I had more time, I would be devoting more time to it, but I have a little one, as you know. And so this is kind of my time to get to do that. There's a lot more here, but I feel like in the grand scheme of things, we are doing what we need to do. Okay, this rune, the last one, it looks like the letter B. Again, not sure you can see that. Show you. This rune is pronounced Berkana. Berkana, and it represents birth and fresh beginnings. Okay. This rune signifies the circle of life and is nurturing and kind. It denotes the birth of a new baby and the beginning of a new connection, relationship, commercial enterprise, or even rebirth. It represents mental and emotional development as well as a regeneration phase. Anxiety, family problems, loss of control, and carelessness are all signs. Oh, that's the reverse meaning. I'm sorry. Which I didn't have. So if you choose this rune, which has the reverse meaning, hold on. things that it seems like there's a lot of motherhood, fertility, new beginnings. This rune denotes the knowledge, power, spiritual and mental strength, and childbearing and caring offspring of motherhood. It represents the outer kid who looks to their mother for guidance, assistance, and safety. It also represents the unconditional love and trust given by a mother. So there's some like secrecy involved with this one as well, because, and we don't mean secrecy in like in a bad sense, but it's secrecy in the power, like, I guess, of the unknown, and like the things that are happening. Think of a child that is developing in the womb, right? There may be unknowns about that, but it's not a negative thing. It is an unknown. It depicts a cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. It is ideal for healing, especially when cleansing, renewal, purification, and regeneration are required. All right, so let's put this together. What we need to do is have patience, self-care. We're going to spend some time in nature. We're going to work on our spiritual path, and we're going to go essentially through a rebirth. We're kind of like a phoenix right now. Shit's burning down, and yet we will rise from the ashes. How can I take something off of your plate right now? Well, you're going to lay down, or you're going to sit somewhere quietly, or you're going to do some sort of very passive activity, walking, doing the dishes, something, gardening, that does not require your 100% focus. So no driving. Please don't watch this, listen to this while driving, or anything that is going to require your like active attention. Do whatever that is. I want you to get comfortable. If you haven't already, you might want to pause this, go get a glass of water, go get essential oil, go light a candle, go get your incense, set your space if you haven't already. Gonna put a little bit of valor on today, just to help me anchor in and go and get into a balance. And then I really feel like transformation oil is gonna be good. So we're gonna do a little bit of this here. And then last but not least, I'm doing some surrender today. Because somebody asked me, like, how is this eclipse full moon doing for you? And I was like, it fucking sucks. It does. I've had 3 friends experience death in like the last week. Less than a week. We've had things breaking, things not going the way that it needs to go. Just unexpected stuff coming up, and it feels like a purge. And I don't mean that in the death sense, but it just feels like all this crap is coming up, and it's like a purge, and it's not pleasant to look at. So surrender. You're going to surrender to the unknown here, and that's not easy to do. We're going through like a portal. Close your eyes. Inhale. We're going to take a moment and we're going to anchor or ground our energy. Drop your grounding cord, and I'm saying, like, lock it in. Put it, if you had a grounding cord with a plug at the end, you're going to drop it down and you're plugging it in to the earth. And you're going to allow the energy from the earth to flow through your grounding cord. You're going to establish that connection. We're already releasing a lot, so that's good. Grounding yourself on a regular basis is going to be good for your mental health. Go outside, sit under a tree, garden, get your hands in the dirt, and I like the idea that I'm getting a vision of a staff, like a walking stick. And even if you don't desire to take your shoes off, or you're in a position where you cannot take your shoes off, like you're going to go on a hike and just doing it barefoot is not ideal, then getting a walking staff will help you be connected to the ground anyway, because you're connected to the stick connected to the earth. And so as you walk, you're still grounding. Of course, you can put your hands on a tree, a rock, sit on the ground, what have you. But when we just plugged in, there was like an energy dump. Like when you're static electricity and like you touch something and it shocks you. It was like this discharge. That's the word. So allow that energy to continue to discharge through the earth. And there's just a lot right now. So I'm already feeling hot. Breathe in deeply. And just know that whatever comes up in this space right now, you are safe. Understand what is happening right now. That's part of the unknown. You don't need to understand what's happening right now. If you feel discomfort or heat in your body, just make a mental note about where it is. I feel heat in my upper back. Make a mental note. And then let it go, and then just experience the sensation. breathe. And let it flow down. Let it go out and discharge into the earth. awareness back into the room, back into your body. Breathing in, wiggling your fingers and toes, moving your shoulders, rocking your head side to side. So, whenever you're ready, open your eyes. And I wanted to deliver one thing that's there, wanting me to suggest, to invite you to do, is to tone. And that would just be, you know, like an om. Or just till you run out of breath. Breathe in again and and I want you to do that with a focus in your throat chakra area or your high heart. This area right here. And it feels like a lot that's tense and stuck there that wants to come out, and it feels good to tone and to vibrate that area, to move that energy. And especially if you've been crying a lot, breathing really heavy, feeling frustrated, and just wanting to scream. And allowing that vibration to move through you and to move whatever needs to be moved, and just to help it move along a little bit, to loosen it up in the moment. You don't need the tools. If you have the tools, they're certainly nice to use, and there are times when they're extremely helpful. In a moment when you're driving down the road and you're feeling super frustrated, or you're in the shower and you're curled up and you're crying and you just feel like you need a release, it's not the time to reach for a tool. So toning is really helpful, and that's coming through strongly this session. I'm also working with, personally, a lot of protective gemstones. So I have my smoky quartz. This is my new athame that I feel like you've got some worry in you. Okay, yeah, that's another thing. I just want you to know that if you're worrying about something, it's not helpful. Unless you can do something about it right now, you can act on the worry. For instance, I left the stove on, I need to turn it off, that's a worry. You can go, it's actionable. Unless you can do something right now, it's really not helpful. So letting go. And so this was about cutting those worry thoughts off, cutting them out. This is black obsidian, recent purchase of mine, a recent find. She feels just super potent and powerful. Be seeing more of her. And then, as always, black tourmaline. I use that black tourmaline a lot as a protective stone, and those are the stones that I'm pulling and gravitating towards right now, just with this whole intensity. And it's not like it's going to necessarily shield you from what's coming and what's going on, but it will help anchor you and ground you, to help discharge some of that. It just feels like you have static. It's just this, the energy feels like that, and the grounding is like discharging the extra molecules and ions, electrons. Hopefully I'm explaining that correctly. But it's just like if you were to have an ungrounded cord to a television set, and you're getting all of that static and snowy screen just because of the extra stuff, and then you have cables have grounding cords, grounding wires, and so it's like you need that right now, because there's a lot happening, and to discharge the stuff that's you don't need anymore, or that's just to prevent you from overloading, just go outside. Okay, all right, thank you for being here. I'm sorry that you're going through whatever it is that you're going through. I'm going through crap too, and it just sucks. I'm sorry. We'll get through it, okay? Somehow. We'll move through it. We'll move forward. That's all we can do. I love you. Thank you for being here and spending this time with me. I appreciate you so much, and I will see you next month.